Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Talkin Kop. It's Sunday, the 22nd of December. Liverpool have absolutely upended Spurs at the Spurs Community White Hart Lane Stadium. I genuinely don't know the name of that stadium. I think it's the Spurs Tottenham Stadium. But anyway, we've won that game, and Liverpool are 4 points clear at the top of the Premier League with a game in hand going into Christmas. If you want to listen or watch the post-match show, you can with Chris and Kev and Ashley and Matt. That's available for you there. But we are here at 10 p.m. to talk about Liverpool's win at Spurs. I'm delighted to be joined by Keith, by Seany, and a very drunk Emma, who went to the Fairhouse Community Centre today for 2 points. Because it was 5:30 a point, he had 11 of them, and he signed a player. So that's all you need to know. That's your
what a day!
What a day! What a birthday!
What a day! The Carlsberg made day is it today, isn't it?
And on his birthday as well. But anyway, that's all we're giving you on that. Liverpool.
Talent Man of the Year 2019.
Inspirational leader 2024. Seany's due to pick up his Excel spreadsheet Man of the Year.
I'll come up for that next year.
Nah, you'll never be Seany at that. Seany's lethal at that. He knows
all it's the last one. They're finishing it up. It's being
knocking on the head.
That's all gone to ChatGPT. So good luck with that.
Yeah. So he'll always be the reigning champion. So Seany will always walk around Dublin City Centre with that belt, and no one can take it off him. Right, Liverpool are magic. Seany, like we always do with this show, we're going to start at the end, work our way back, whatever it might be. But that was a win. That was an important win, and I don't know if it's a statement win, but Liverpool went out today, and me and you always say just win. They did just win, Seany, but I put it in the title of the show. I think they showed Spurs mercy by only scoring 6. Liverpool were brilliant.
Yeah, particularly the first 55 minutes. Some of the best football I've seen all season, to be honest with you, from any team. Frustrating at times in terms of just game management sometimes. Like I was in the chat, like this Spurs team love a ding dong. Like that's the only way they typically win games or in games, is if you kind of go blow for blow with them, because they're really decent going forward, to be honest with you. But an absolute fucking that Macedonia at the back.
Now, Seany, I'm just going to stop you. I'm going to stop you, and it's not a warning, right? It's the 22nd of December. It's nearly Christmas. You fill your boots and say whatever the fuck you want about anybody, right? And you can say cunt if you want. It's Christmas. Continue.
No. I don't think he was waiting on your bleeding approval.
No, just let him know. Just in case he's worried about me kids on Christmas, unless we've no money.
Yeah, no. To be honest with you, it was fucking brilliant. And I wasn't really. We missed a few chances before we went 1-0 up, and I never felt like this is something that might come back to bite us, because to be honest with you, I actually think Spurs are fairly shy. To be honest with you, they are. You look at where they are in the table. I actually think Ange, who is a fucking spoofer beyond all belief, is getting away with it massively. I think he's lucky he manages Spurs and not a club that's
ambitious.
Yeah, and it's lucky it's not United, because look at where they are in the table. Like, you know what I mean? Look at who's ahead of them. Like, you look at who's in and around the top 4, top 5, top 6, and he's nowhere near it. I wasn't really worried about today, to be honest with you. I just didn't want to get into a ding-dong with them, because that's the only way they're in games, and it did look like that at times. But to be honest with you, Gav, fucking 55 minutes just scintillating football from Liverpool, to be honest with you. Too many outstanding, and I use the word outstanding, individual performances to name. I'm sure we'll go through a couple of them, but you're looking at it, 5-1 coming into Christmas week after Chelsea dropped points today. Fucking, you're thinking this is dreamland, and City again yesterday. I think today's might be the day where we kind of, I think we laid down the gauntlet today, as if to say, do you know what? If you're going to win this league, you're going to have to finish against us, above us, and we're going to be fucking tough to stop from here on out, because, you know, the 2 draws albeit I actually think the Fulham performance is really good. I don't think I've been on a show for about a month, so I haven't
No, you're
talked
racking the
about
bollocks for about a month, but you're back.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, went missing, to be honest with you. I don't really give a bollocks either, to be totally honest. But,
I know you don't.
but you look at last week, I think the Fulham performance is one of our best performances of the season. It's just the circumstances led to it being a little bit more difficult. But look, we're absolutely flying, and it was I take no more pleasure than any other game than baiting that fucking big spoof and Egypt out the gap, because he's more bleeding. He's more faces than a fucking second-hand clock, that cunt, to be honest with you, Ange Postecoglou, and the mask is really starting to slip. So yeah, fuck him. Anyway, the big fucking Aussie spoof and gig now. But
come here. I did hear
if he's watching.
If you're watching, listen, have a great Christmas, Ange. Come here. I did hear a quote on the post-match show. I think it might have been actually read it out, and Ange Postecoglou was asked after the game, what more do you think you could have done today? And he went, well, not an awful lot. And I went, here, that can't be right, but apparently it is. Keith, Seany puts it perfectly. When you're going into a game like this, people were saying, they're high they play a high line, they're open, boom, 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 boom. And it is one of those where you think, if it gets end to end, they have got players there in Son, Madison. I thought Kulusevski was really good for them today.
He's brilliant.
Yeah, and they have Solanke and they've Brennan Johnson to come off the bench, or whatever it might be. But Keith, my big thing was keep the ball, move them around, and by doing that, you're holding all the cards while, and you're dealing them as well, and they're not getting a look in. And I thought Liverpool done that unbelievably for 40 minutes at the start, the first 40 minutes of this game, and it just set the stall out that went, listen, we're not going to give you a sniff, and even if you do get a sniff, we're just going to take it back away from you. And that's what Liverpool done today. Spurs get 2 goals, but it's a massively flattering scoreline at 6-3. Like, it's genuinely massively flattering to Spurs.
Yeah, I mean, their first goal was out of nothing as well. Spurs, they were terrible today, and look, we know they're missing a lot of their key players. You don't want to be going into games missing 2 centre-backs and having to play a kid at centre-back who's a midfielder or a right-back by trade. He's actually a good player, Archie Gray. The keeper, Foster, he's dirt. He is absolute cat. I was going to say something, I won't. He's absolute muck. He's had good games against us before. Do you know what I mean? So I was sort of like, well, this fucker usually turns up against us, brutal. But we made sure that they didn't have a foothold in that game because we went at them from the very start. It was excellent by Liverpool. And I agree with what Seany said. I think that is that's the marker now. We remember when we won the league and it was sort of the Leicester game, which was on Stevens' day, wasn't it? It was only back from the World Club Cup.
Qatar,
that for me, that was the game that I sort of felt, right, we're winning that league. We're not that far away, you know what I mean? We're only a few days before that, and this to me was a statement win that we needed to do because Spurs were at the best at the back, but as you have touched on, their front 4 or 5 are very good, very strong. Kulusevski, I think he's one of the best players in the league. I think he's really come on playing in a deeper role now. He's not just a left winger or a right winger, who'll be in and out of games. He's dropped back, he's playing sort of in the number 10 or an 8. And he's affecting games. I think he's brilliant. He's a really, really good player that I didn't really see coming with him, but he's good. But on the other side, we seen with our lads today, our number 8, who I thought was sensational today. I think there was so many good performances by Liverpool, but I'm getting out of the blocks earlier. Thoughts of Bosley out of his world today. And if we can see performances like that, I get people get frustrated he doesn't do the numbers. We had goals, we had assists today. We had everything. We had work rate. We had it all. If he puts in performances like that and we've got the other lads doing their jobs, Seany's right. It's catch us. Do you know what I mean? Don't be talking to us about, Chelsea or this and Arsenal or net. You just have to try and chase us down. And if we've got players playing like that, it'd take a very good team to chase this team down. And Spurs on the day just weren't they. Spurs are a flaky team. You know what I mean? They've got a manager, Ange. A lot of people like Ange. A lot of neutrals don't really like Ange. since this fixture last year. We all know what happened in that, and some of the shite Ange came out with at the time that he has since sort of rolled back on when it didn't go his way. But did anyone hear his interview after the game and the press conference when they're asking him, should you not be changing the way you play? And he's sort of going mad, saying, no, this is the way we play, kamikaze football, and deal with it. I'd be surprised if he's still there come January, because some of the stuff they're playing is absolute poison.
It's funny because when I look at the Spurs lineup, you know, all right, they've issues at centre back, and you know, you can either give that some credit or you don't. It's up to you, because like I still go back to Liverpool playing midfielders as centre back for most of the season. But when you look at what he has ahead of that, you know, he still has two fullbacks that are fullbacks. He still has two guys in the middle of midfield that should be able to sit and help, and then you can let your other lads, you know, work hard but be creative, and they just don't have it. They just don't have any protection there for anybody, and they're just so open, and that's the way he plays. I think it's madness what he's doing, but that's their problem, not ours. Emma, I've heard a lot after this game with regards to, you know, we play in the League Cup during the week, we leave a lot of players out, we give them a rest, and you see some of them coming back there today, and Salah and others, where you just went, Jesus Christ, he looks absolutely so sharp after rest. McAllister had a rest because of suspension or whatever else. But is that a way forward for Liverpool? Because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, you know, we can go through these next group of games. You know, you have Leicester, you have West Ham, you have United, then you have an FA Cup. You throw in a couple of those Champions League games that don't mean a hell of a lot right now. If he gets the opportunity to give these boys rests and putting them back in so fresh with, you know, even a 4 or 5 day rest, or a 5 or 6 day rest rather than a 2 or 3 day rest, you've seen the difference there today, I thought, especially after a Spurs side that named a very close side to what he played against United during the week. That has to be a way forward for Liverpool to rotate this properly.
Yeah, look, it's massive. I don't look. McAllister had his rest because he was suspended.
Yeah.
I think he plays probably one of those games if he wasn't suspended. We're getting players back now at the right time, like Elliott getting minutes and stuff like that. Like, so, look, we've spoke about it for a long time that it doesn't really matter what 11 he puts out. Like if Jones had a start today or Elliott had a start today, nobody would have blinked an eye. So I think we're becoming really strong at the right time of the season. Chiesa left out today, not because he's not fit, just because he didn't make the squad. Isn't it great to be able to have a Chiesa that just doesn't make the squad? I thought everyone to a man today was absolutely brilliant. It was great that some of them got a rest during the week. You can say Spurs were missing players. I think we do what we did to them today, regardless of whether they're missing players or not. And that's like it's because of the way he sets up. I was a little bit nervous coming in today. We've had some close games with Spurs, but after first 5-10 minutes, I thought this could be a cricket score. So it's great that lads got a rest. Salah, Van Dijk, they didn't look like they missed a step, I have to say, and that can only be good for us going forward.
I just think some of them just look so fresh and so sharp, and Spurs just didn't have an answer for them. I want to get into the goals in a little bit, but I want to give a couple of players a mention. And Seany, I'm going to go straight in at the top. Mo Salah. He becomes the fourth highest scoring player in Liverpool's history, surpassing Billy Liddell. And Chris said some really nice things about Billy Liddell in the post-match show and told people to go and read up about him. But, you know, for people that don't know about Billy Liddell, he played for Liverpool from 1946 up to 1960, right? Absolutely adored at Liverpool, like one of the greats of Liverpool. And Seany, I think Salah's one of the Liverpool greats, and I think by surpassing Billy Liddell today, I think it's cemented it. And I was looking up a couple of stats, right? In 534 games, now Billy Liddell is revered by any Liverpool fan you ever speak to. In 534 games, he had 360 goal involvements, 228 goals, right? Salah has 331 goal involvements in 373 games, which includes 229 goals as of today. I don't want to really get into the contract situation or whatever, Seany, we do that. We've done it loads, but he just, like, if he doesn't before, if anyone doesn't think he does before, after today, who he surpassed there today, who was a winger as well, Billy Little, by the way. But Shawnee, them numbers and that consistency over 7 years and 4 months at the club, he is one of the Liverpool greats. Forget Premier League, he is one of the Liverpool greats. And he just cements it a little bit more today with them 2 goals and surpassing Billy Little, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's one of the greatest footballers ever. Forget about Premier League and Liverpool. Talking about to play the game, the numbers are off the charts. It's getting stupid at this rate, to be honest with you. I think think of where he'll end up, where if he signs another deal, I think there'll be no question towards his legacy. He'd be the greatest. Well, you'll have people from a different vintage telling you that Grealish was better, probably. And look, I'm not going to argue that with anyone, because quite frankly, I don't know. But for as far as I've seen, he's the best player I've seen playing for Liverpool in the Premier League era, and I reluctantly count Gerrard in that, but because he's just, this consistency is fucking crazy across the board. The amount of games he's missed to injury. The only thing that's really hampered him is that fucking AFCON being on in January just kind of has broken up seasons for him and rhythm at times. But like, I don't know how. The thing is, he's really starting to get his flowers now from the mainstream and everyone else, in terms of where he actually sits in the pantheon of great players, just not only for Liverpool but in the Premier League. But like, he's not much different to the player that he was when he first walked in at Liverpool, in terms of just everything about his game. He's fucking incredible, and the little bit older he's become a little bit more of a creator as well. Like the pass for the first goal today is it's genius. I reckon 9 players out of 10 probably play the ball on the outside. So I think it was Diaz probably running through
for the third goal. Yeah,
but he has a little look, and it's perfect. It's just, suppose like you go and finish that. He's incredible. He really is. And you know what? He's playing football with a big, huge smile on his face as well, which for me, regardless of what's going on with the contract, that's huge for me, because I actually found there was probably times in the last couple of seasons where he looked a little bit moody, I think, when he was playing. But he seems to be really, really enjoying his football at the moment. And look at his numbers. He's the spearhead as to what's going on this season. I'm not saying it's a one-man army, because there's been so many standout performers this year for Liverpool, but like, he's putting us on his back as a talisman. It's 15 goals and 11 assists, and we haven't even fucking cut into the turkey yet. It's crazy numbers when you think about it. Like, the trajectory is mad, and the fact of the matter is, he's not going away now. This January to AFCON or any shite like that, so he'll be dialed in, and his mentality for me as well is another big thing. He's always talked about Liverpool deserving to be at the top of the table and having to be there, and you could see last year kind of he fired a shot down the ball with his post after Klopp left. I don't think he said much about Klopp leaving, to be honest with you. It wasn't like thanks bot or whatever it is. It was just like, this year wasn't good enough. We walked away not winning the league, and next year we have to go on and fight for more. And that's exactly what he's doing. His numbers are off the charts. He's right up there in every single conversation in terms of the best Premier League player ever. I reckon Keith Jumpler might be in schoolyard or in college down the years, when lads a little bit younger than us now at this stage will be doing Premier League 11s. And I'm nearly 99% sure that no matter who you follow, or who you kind of pin your colours on, that the right wing spot belongs to Mohamed Salah.
It won't even be a debate.
Yeah, not just in this generation, I think in every single generation. And I think that's it's definitely the highest. It's the highest achievement you can give any player, that you can turn around and say, out of all the players that have ever played in that league in your position, you are number one. And I actually think with possibly another Premier League title and who knows, another Champions League title, you'd be able to turn around to Arsenal fans in the pub who love going on about this invincible shite and all, and turn around and go, yeah, well, you know, Mo Salah, yeah, he's actually better than Thierry Henry. Because you know what? He won everything playing for an English club, unlike Henry, and his numbers are better. And that's kind of that's not me belittling Thierry Henry. This is just kind of a showcase of just how good this Salah fella is. He's a joke. He's an absolute joke. And regardless of what happens, it's been an absolute pleasure to watch the fella play for Liverpool. And he's always represented Liverpool correctly. Like, there's never been any shite or ego with him. He's just got on with it regardless. And I think of everyone in this squad, he deserves another Premier League title.
12 goals off Gordon Hodgson as well, so
that'll go.
He will take that this season.
So, a couple of bits, right? Antio says it's mad to think Salah could break Henry's record of 20 goals and 20 assists after a lot of people were contemplating selling him 1 or 2 years ago. Passio says Salah is now joint 10th in all-time assists in the Premier League with Beckham. He's 3 goals off Henry as top Premier League goal scorer, right? Dylan says Henry 377 games, 228 goals, 93 assists. Salah 373 games, 229 goals with 103 assists. Bob says 20% slower Salah is a 200% calmer Salah. That's a great point, by the way. Dylan says he's also too clear as the top goal scorer in the league when Haaland had scored 10 goals by the end of September. He's a freak of nature. He's just unbelievable. He's unbelievable. But Keith, getting into some of the goals, and let's start with the first one. That's the best place to start. I was delighted it was Luis Diaz. I got to be honest with you. If I could have picked anyone to score in this game first, it was Luis Diaz. It's an unbelievable ball by Trent. It's a brilliant header by Diaz, and you know what? Justifying putting him into the side and putting him through the middle. He's decent in the air. He's quick. He wants to get in behind people. You know, he played really fucking well. I think he gets man of the match on Sky. But it was just what Liverpool deserved, wasn't it? And look, you can go if you want to bang on about a couple more goals, you can. But it was what Liverpool deserved after being so dominant up to that point.
Yeah, they really started strong, and the ball in by Trent, look, it's a bleeding delicious ball. It's put on a plate, but there's still a lot of work to do with the header by Diaz, and he does it, he connects and he buries it. And I was delighted that he got the goal as well because of the shite that happened there last year, and it was the perfect start. I thought we would have went with Núñez as a 9, just with their centre-backs being a bit raggedy, do you know what I mean? A young fella and a bit of a disaster in Dragosoon. I thought he would have went with Núñez just to run them and pull them out of position all the time. And when I seen Diaz, I was like, all right, yeah, let's see how it goes. I think he's fucking great as a centre forward. He's different. He's not obviously a target man. He's not your traditional number 9, but he makes clever runs all the time. He drops back. He's strong as an ox. He works hard. Like, it's actually, we look great when he's in that position. And he started off well today, and he gets, the first and the last goal today, and I thought he was brilliant. But yeah, delighted that he got the goal. Trent puts the ball in. It's that sort of Steven Gerrard, Kevin De Bruyne, David Beckham, all these lads that would put them passes in from the wide areas and puts it on a play for someone. It was that type of ball with Trent. He puts it in, and Diaz, I wouldn't say it was put on a plate necessarily because he still had a bit to do, but he connects well, and we're 1-0 up. And it was more than we deserved. More than we deserved. It's what we deserved to start the way we started off in the game. And we just put the foot on the throat a bit of Spurs, and we just went at them. You know what I mean? We knew they were a fragile team, and we just went at them. And from that, we just start pushing them, and then it leads us into goal number 2.
Yeah. Goal number 2, fair play. I was delighted McAllister's in there to do that, and we make it 2, and you're like, that's probably what we deserve. You know, it's probably what we deserve on whatever minute he scores. You're thinking 2-0 is probably about right in this game. Emmet, we concede one then. It's a poor goal to concede. You know, McAllister's looking for a free, and I don't know where he's looking for one, but we've said it all season, Emmet. We've said it since we've started watching Slot's team play football. At some stage, we're going to get a keeper caught, a centre-back caught, or a deep line midfielder getting a ball into them, and they're going to get caught. And we get caught, you know, and it was frustrating because we're in so much control and we give them a bit of hope. But the funny thing is, when Maddison scores, that you nearly look at Maddison's face going, yeah, I'm at the scoring, but like these are fucking, these are battering us.
I was going to say the exact same thing. When Maddison scores, like that makes it 2-1. Yeah. Now, when you score to make it 2-1, you're thinking
on the stroke of half time, like, but well,
get that crowd going. Yeah. We're back in this fucking game. He was resigned to losing. I'm sorry, but that was the look that he had off his. After every single one of their goals, it was consolation. Yeah, it was unfortunate because McAllister had done the smallest man on the pitch probably scored against the biggest man on the pitch for him to get up for that header and score against Forster. But yeah, look, he gets a caught under his feet. That's what Spurs are. They do press. They caught him out. Maddison got the ball. I know he uses the defender to maybe kind of disguise where he's putting the ball. I honestly think that Alisson probably could have dived at least to try and make the save, but I didn't think at any point it was going to be a case that, oh shit, these are back in it now. It was literally a blip. We'll just go up the other end and score another goal. I know it was close to half time.
Gonads and bleeding Churrasco from the night before. Wouldn't be the first time a little Argentina over jumped a bleeding big heap beside English goalkeeper in there either.
But look, it wasn't a look. It was, to me, the whole game. It was like a pre-season friendly. We were just head and shoulders.
Do you know what it felt like?
Head and shoulders above them.
Do you know what it felt like? It felt like the second leg of a competition where Liverpool had won 3-0 in the first leg. And we're just... that's what it felt like. Because even when he scores, watch him when he scores, he just goes, yeah, you know, fucking... it's a goal someone scores when you're 5-0 down and you get one. You know, that sort of way. And Shawnee touched on the Szoboszlai goal earlier. And again, I was listening back to the post-match show and Kev makes a great point on it. It's a really good goal from Liverpool because, you know, they win the flick. Szoboszlai... Salah makes a brilliant decision because the defender is anticipating it going to Diaz, so he might actually get across or he might make it difficult. And Salah just waits that extra second, reverses it into Szoboszlai, who that's what we want to see from Szoboszlai. That run beyond whoever's, you know, Salah was kind of the central man then, just the way it fell. But that run beyond takes it, he's comfortable, puts it away, makes it 3-1 and takes the steam out of them completely.
It's Szoboszlai that wins the flick on
header. Yeah, but that's what we want, and we'll talk about him in a bit more detail later, but that's what you want to see from him. You want to see that running beyond and having the confidence to go, yeah, I'm just going to slip it between your legs, it's fine. And it goes 3-1 and it just takes the stuff an hour of them. Shawnee, we go into the second half and, you know, Kev was making the point, you're 2-1 down, you've been fucking pulled around this pitch, and all of a sudden you're losing headers, the centre half's losing headers. 2 passes later, it's 3-on-2 for Liverpool. You should have been going 2-1, get into the dressing room at 2-1, or anyway, just get in there at 2-1. Let's get the crowd up, see what we can do, turn it into a Spursy kind of game, and see where we go. But they don't. They concede again. It's 3-1. And then you really see the frailties in them, Shawnee. And you really see, I think it's just a massive fucking bag of naivety that they have. Everything they do is naive. It's just like, this will be all right if we do this. But Liverpool picked them asunder in the second half.
I think the way Spurs play is kind of symptomatic of the way some managers are revered in the media. And I think it goes against Ange Postecoglou and Spurs hugely to their own detriment, because I always felt he got way too much credit for the start he had in the league last year. And then they were like, oh, it's a breath of fresh air. And like, this fella doesn't give a fuck. And he's coming out and he's like, he has a little bit about him in press conferences and everyone is eating all the shites that he's throwing out. But like, if that was any average Joe doing what he was doing, it's like, this fella's a fucking novice. What the fuck is he at? It's like when, not to the extent, but when your man De Boer got the Palace job, remember? And he was like, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And they're like, this fella's a fucking idiot. Like, I'll never understand. Like, Ange, we know you done all right up at Celtic, right? You know, like, you have enough chops to be managing a club like Spurs. You don't need to push our shit on us that you're well able to play this fucking front-footed, expansive attacking football. Like, when you're getting leads in games, it's all right to turn around and go, do you know what, I'm going to sit in, because people might go, do you know what, he's a few more strings to his bow, this fella. Like, he's able to set a team up to get it done. But they look fucking, I don't know what it is. It has to be by instruction, because absolutely none of the players look like they're interested in running back. And in football, you can't, if you're going to run fast forward, you have to be as willing to run as fast back, and they just don't. Like, look at the Talk goal. Like, look at Sarr and Basuma jogging back. Like, you'd be fucking furious. But that's the way they play. You seen around this time last year when they played Chelsea and went down to 9 men, and they were doing the same shit. Like, I don't think we should be praising people for this. I think it should be called out for what it is. And like you said, naivety. They're fucking brutal. Like, a terrible United side there went there the other night and nearly like snatched victory from the jaws of defeat in the Carabao Cup. Like, I kind of couldn't believe what I was watching. So that's why I wasn't at all worried going into this game today, because last year was a bit of an anomaly going there, because we go down to 10 men early, and with 10 men we're actually better side than them, and then we go down to 9 and we're still trying to bleed and snatch the game, and we end up conceding in the last minute. So I don't know what it is about Spurs. I don't know whether it's because they've just been so starved by success, or the English media's like fucking thirst for these managers that they see as like a breath of fresh air, but they get away with more. And I actually think, like, I agree with what you're saying on the show description. I actually think they got away with more today, because I think if Liverpool managed the game a little bit better, that's probably the type of result where
he gets sacked after.
That Daniel Levy is having words in the boardroom after the game going, do you know what, we actually might need to have a conversation about this fella, because I think if Liverpool are maybe fucking an extra 10% switched on in the second half, I can totally understand why Liverpool probably took their foot off the gas, and as much as it annoyed me to watch it, I think there's an opportunity there to probably stick 6, 7, 8 on them without conceding another, and then literally, and I don't think it would have flattered them or us at all, to be honest with you. And I think it's definitely a situation where Daniel Levy is going, do you know what, we might need to fucking pull the trigger on this fella, because this is the fella who we wanted before Ange after coming in and pulling his pants down and checking his temperature in front of that whole fucking Tottenham Hotspur Stadium a couple of days before Christmas, that looked like they could run away with the league at this stage, and we've never looked further off it. And I think that's actually that's the point. And I seen a few saying in the chat, like, about in terms of it being entertaining, like, you can see sports fans already have a pain that bollocks for it, and I think you can even see it with Madison's celebration, because from what a few bits I read on the Spurs Reddit, apparently the atmosphere was dire at 2-0. They'd already fans and all walking out. So look, I think Ad's probably thanking his lucky stars tonight there that Liverpool probably let him off a little bit, because 6-3 flatters them massively. I think in terms of the game, like, that could have easily been one of them where fucking you seen look at the way your players are celebrating that 5-1. I think, and this will be whatever we want it to be.
Yeah,
sort of thing, you know. Like, you could see it. Like, you could.
Yeah. We were look at the difference in them.
Yeah,
think like from last season.
Yeah,
but you think of them last season when we played that game there, Shawnee. They had their kids on the pitch at the end of it, as you said there. They scraped the bleeding win against 9 men against us, and the love in for Ange. They were all singing I'm loving Big Ange instead, you know, Angels and all that. And now he's having scraps with their fans on the side of the pitch. Do you know what I mean?
But you know
Like
what? Like I'd have way more respect for Ange if I actually believed he was about the principles he says he is. Like, I remember the show he came out with after the game last year with the goal being ruled out, about how difficult the manager's job or referee's job is and all, and that's what the technology's there for. And some of the shit he's come out this season, like the polar opposite. He didn't even get to. I don't even think he got to 3 or 4 match days after the Liverpool game last year before his rhetoric changed. I think he's a big bluffer, and he's another one of the line of bluffers who go up to Celtic to make themselves look like they're fucking ready for the big time, and then they come down, and then you're going, do you know what? You actually might be a West Ham United manager if you're lucky after this job. Because I think he's a fucking. I genuinely think he's a snake oil salesman, and he's done really well because he has a little bit of wit and to get people on his side. You hear Gary Lineker, or just remember Gary Neville waxing lyrical about him after the game against United this year at Old Trafford, and they got absolutely pulled to smithereens today. And we have to play them in a semi-final over two legs. If they don't fix up, they will be bet out the gate on both occasions there again, to be honest with you. But look, do you know what? I don't have any. My old lad's a sports fan, and I used to have a kind of a soft spot for Spurs growing up. But I think much like that fucking North London counterparts, there's a smell of entitlement of them, which Arsenal, okay, yeah, probably the third biggest club in England, but with them, fuck me, they shouldn't feel entitled to absolutely anything because they have a nice stadium. Will you do me a fucking favour? Bollocks. Fucking the best performers in that stadium have been fucking Beyonce, Knowles and Taylor Swift. I don't even think she's played there. You know what I mean? So,
my thing on them is that it's a bit like a couple of managers that have got sacked this season where they supposedly stick to principles, and they think by sticking to my principles people will think more of me, and it could be more opposite. If I'm looking at Russell Martin or who was the other one sacked? Gary O'Neill. I'm thinking to myself, no, if you try change this, people will have more respect for you. And with me, when I look at Ange Postecoglou, I think I understand you want to play entertaining football. That's no problem, but it's completely against the actual players you have there. I'm not saying you can't entertain with Kulusevski and all the lads, but everything else there should be Basuma sits, Sarr sits, the other one Talkin Kop, you know, whoever's there, your fullbacks are fullbacks. But it's just like, nah, you know, and it's nearly like they want to play like man to man game, but they don't do it. It's like, no, I'm meant to be on this fella, but I'll run over here and try to help you, and I'll just leave a big huge gap here. And Liverpool just went, yeah, fair enough, like straight through.
It's basic. It's fairly basic, like, right? You know, look, let's be honest. We're not fucking these tacticals or these morons that watch football and on spreadsheets and fucking pulling themselves asunder, looking at fucking umbrellas on these websites that they pay stupid money to access. But if your game plan is largely set around a fella being faster than shite off a shovel, a la Mickey van de Ven, and his recovery dependent, which is out of this world, to be honest with you. Yeah, quick Mick, yeah. Which was Emmet, which I thought was phenomenal. If your whole game is built around him being in your team, but that fella just happens to be out of 75% of the games you play. Because his hamstrings are hanging off. Yeah, I'm no fucking Columbo, but I think you need to switch it up. Yeah. Like it doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to work that out.
I don't think the fast fella breaking down every couple of weeks, lads, is the way to go. Here, it really isn't.
Yeah, but, do you know what? I'm just waiting on him to come. He might be here in a few, and if he gets here, it'll be much better. But until then, we'll just keep getting our arse handed to us on a play.
We just keep doing the same thing.
The amount of games.
God love Archie.
They've gotten yeah. I think he's a smashing. I think he's a brilliant footballer. But
yeah. He's been thrown to the dogs. But like Keith, we look at you know, goals 4 and 5, you know, and it's literally Liverpool breaking up play, going bang bang bang, reverse passes, putting a cross goal wherever it might be, and Liverpool, Salah gets a tap in, but he's there to get the tap in after Liverpool pulled them apart. And then, you know, Szoboszlai looked like he's in, and it's brilliant from Szoboszlai because, you know, people saying he lacks confidence or whatever. That's not a lack of confidence. That's just brilliant where you just go, I'm just going to slide it to this fella and he's just going to put it in. And Liverpool are 5-1 up, Keith. And to be honest with you, when I went 5, I genuinely thought, Keith, this could be 7 or 8 because they weren't doing anything to change the way this game was flowing. And Liverpool weren't having to try massively hard to put 3 passes together and to be in the Spurs box. It was just more Liverpool. I think Kulusevski's goal is a good one, but the other one's a bit fucking ball looping up in the box. Solanke does well, but Liverpool, the only reason Spurs get back into this is not because Spurs change what they're doing. It's because Liverpool just kind of go, this is getting a bit too easy.
Yeah, it is. Liverpool are having chances as well. It's not just that they get 2 goals. Do you know what I mean? You've got Lucho goes through and hits one over. You have Szoboszlai goes around the keeper, hits the side net and things like that. So we're cutting through them at will. We go to 5. I thought once it's 5-1 on 6, I think it's about 60 minutes, is it? It's about 60 minutes we get the 5th one. It's like, this is going to be a bleeding slaughterhouse. This will be. I was thinking like this would be a record. Because they just looked no interest in it. They were a defeated team. Do you know what I mean? Like you've got the 4th goal, the one that Salah taps in. Like Archie Gray is making a clearance. He's getting up and making another clearance. It was like he was their only fucking defender today. Do you know what I mean? And he's not even a defender. Like harsh on the kid, but he's on the fucking ground. He's hitting it. It's going. The last person you wanted to be fucking falling to 3 yards out is Mo Salah, but there you go. Salah hits it in. Szoboszlai then does well on the other one. We were a team that were confident today, that knew they were better than the opposition, and that's what you wanted. You know, you could have went into that a bit fearful that, you know, it's an away game against a traditional Big Six team. It could be difficult, and we treated them with the disdain they deserved. Do you know what I mean? It was similar to Man City recently. We went into that game and the form can go out the window. Liverpool knew they were a better team in a better moment and went out and showed it on the pitch, and they done that today with Spurs. You're looking at a team that, right, we dropped points against Fulham, but the context was we played most of it with 10 men and we actually played well. We dropped points against Newcastle. Right, I thought we were the better team in the second half there, and we make a little rick at the end and we drop points in that one. Other than that, Liverpool have been fucking excellent. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know why I'm surprised that we're going into Spurs and absolutely battering them. But it just, as we said, it puts another marker down. It puts another sign to say, look, we might have dropped points in a few games recently, but we're here. And, you know, if you want to beat us, and we're not all about Mo Salah. Right, he's been the best player in the league this year by a mile, but we're now a team that have 5 or 6 attacking options that we can throw on. We're now a team that have a solid defence. By the way, Joe Gomez today I thought was fucking brilliant. Yeah. I thought Joe Gomez was excellent today. We have a solid defence. We've now got a midfield, which we never had under Klopp, that sort of impacted the games. They were facilitators. They were dogs of war. Now we've got a midfield with Gravenberch, with McAllister and with Szoboszlai that today just looked like it clicked. Do you know what I mean? We're getting goals out of
McAllister scores, Szoboszlai gets one, and
Szoboszlai gets a goal. And so we're getting numbers out of this midfield. They're getting more of the ball. You know what I mean? And it just looks like a team. Who knows what happens with this league, but I don't know where the weaknesses are going to be. People need Liverpool to have a cataclysmic injury record now for the rest of the season to get back into it. And that ignores the fact that we've had a shitty injury record this season. Do you know what I mean? We're the only team that don't get mentioned about. Right, Spurs had a bad run of it with their defence today. Queeveen Kelleher's played how many games for us? About 8 games in the league this season. Over two injuries to Alisson. Do you know what I mean? We've got Kanate as being out, who was our best, I'd say was our best defender, even ahead of Virgil at the time, and we're missing him now. We have Connor Bradley and Tsimikas both injured. That were our fullback cover that, you know, relieve the pressure on the fullbacks. We had fucking Jota out. You know, we're missing players. Harvey Elliott's only come back into the fold. Liverpool's injury record doesn't get mentioned, but we would need to have a bleeding dream team type of thing where, you know, snipers are on the roof taking you out. to get any of these
Linda
fuckers
Block
back
paying
into
some
it.
bloke a few
Yeah.
quid.
Exactly, yeah. But that's what they need to happen now, because this team looks good. Do you know what I mean? It's not, we all love Jurgen Klopp, right? The emotional rock and roll football, heavy metal football. That was brilliant. But it was always a tightrope. It was always, you play on the emotion, you play on the adrenaline, you go hard, you go heavy, and you can get fucking, if it doesn't go, you can be caught out. And we couldn't get over the hump against Man City a couple of times. I'll never hold that against Klopp, because to get 97 points and 94 points, not win a league, is a fucking disgrace. But he is, what Slot has done now is he has brought a control into this team. He has brought a style of play that still has that attacking football, still has that counter attacking football, still has that high pressing football, but now just looks, you'd say, more solid behind that attack. And to get to that, Arne Slot deserves a lot of credit, but I just don't see where the drop off will happen with this Liverpool team based on what we've seen so far. I just don't see where the others are going to get. They all have flaws as well, by the way. There's no other team. Like, we're the best team in the league by a mile. We're the most balanced team in the league by a mile. We're the strongest team by a mile. Chelsea are second. Their keeper is absolute gash. He is fucking useless, and he will cost them. We've said it on here many a time. Arsenal, the emotion of that shy bag. We're talking about Ange being a bleeding shy hawk. There's another one. Is North London fucking counterpart across the way. Lego head. Too emotional. They make a balls of that as well. This is Liverpool's league title to lose, and I just don't see this team doing it. I think we've too much power, too much control, and we showed it today. It was a statement, keep saying it, against what would be a traditional top six team, but we went out and we put them to the sword, came away with the 3 points, and let everyone know we're still here. You have to knock us off.
My thing,
I don't know if you listen to the Gary Neville podcast yet.
no.
It's normally good if
I'd
Liverpool
rather
are the
put me
last
on
team
fucking
on it.
eyes out.
Trust me, I'll give you a little nugget. If Liverpool are the last team on a Sunday and they've won, it's literally podcast form of watching a fella eating his own Mickey for 15 minutes live on a video. And lads, you want to hear the stuff he's coming out today? You could see him like he was like by the time the end of the interview came around, bleeding, Jordy is talking down to the ground because he's just in a puddle. He's just melted into a puddle by the end of it. There's now even
It's like the snowman out of that film. What was it?
He's like
Frozen.
Michael Keaton and Jack Frost at the end. He's just a puddle. All you can see is the headset just lying on the ground.
What was the snowman's name in Frozen?
Olaf.
Yeah,
Olaf.
before Olaf out in the sun, was it?
Neville's big mangled shroud on the ground. That's all you can see. That's all that's left. But he basically said, Drury, like, kind of, he hung him. He hung him out to dry. He said, "You said something to me off camera, which you probably won't like me saying here, but I'm going to ask you about it, right?" And you could see Neville going, "Oh fuck, I know what he's talking about."
Yeah.
And he goes, "You told me off camera that this Liverpool side reminds you an awful lot of the teams you played in for Sir Alex Ferguson." And he said, "Yeah, I did actually say that. And the reason why I said that was because I seen 3 or 4 different styles of football from Liverpool today in the game, which I know weren't all direct messages on the pitch from the manager, where you could see players in the team themselves were actually making decisions as if to say, okay, this is how we manage this part of the game." And he says that's absolutely huge. He said it's the best 60, 70 minutes of football he's seen in the Premier League this year. And you could see him swallowing his own puke as he was trying to finish the sentences. So, yeah, and look, we all fucking hate United, but that's some praise, to be honest with you, to heap on someone. He knows now. He said, "I didn't imagine a world where this Liverpool team could be this good so early into the reign of a new manager." He said, "I can't even compare Jose Mourinho's first 4 or 5 months as an impact that Arne Slot has. So it's great. It's self-fellatio, but non-willing self-fellatio for 15 minutes. It's on YouTube. I'm not sure that I'll actually... they probably have to take it down because, to be honest with you, it's fucking glorious. I was sitting there, bags around your ankles, gear. It is. That's exactly what it is.
And his bags were around his ankles because he melted.
Yeah, but that's kind of what that done today. And there was no today. He was hoping that would all. Yeah, that just listen. If a tree falls in the forest and nose around, does it make a sound? If Gary Neville is swallowing his Mickey in the gantry in the sports stadium and you can't hear it, does it mean it didn't happen? And I think the answer is no, it definitely fucking happened today because there's visual proof of it on YouTube.
I'm so glad you jumped in with that because that last sentence is amazing. But look, Diaz finishes off the scoring. It makes us 6. We bring on a couple of players. You know, good to see them getting on, and for me in particular, Elliot. I really want to see Elliot in this side. I think he's made for it. I really, and I'm not. Before anyone says no, we won't get ahead of him or him. I'm not about that. It's about being able to say, I think he'd be really fucking good in this side because he can play different. I think he can play in different, not systems, but different ways of playing. A high press, a control. I think he's come on so much, and I was so excited by him in pre-season under Slot. So him coming back is brilliant, and like someone said earlier, not Chiesa not in the squad because he just doesn't make the squad. That's all good, and when you look at my biggest thing at the moment is Liverpool draw at Newcastle and they draw against Fulham. And they win today. They have a game in hand. Okay, they don't play Everton. And no one's put it on them. Nobody's gone and went, bum, bum, bum. Now, here, your game in hand is absolutely massive. Liverpool are 4 points clear. They're away to Everton in that game, which comes on the 11th of February. They should go and beat Everton. I know somebody said there earlier, Brian said we still have to go away to Chelsea, Villa, City and Everton, as well as Brighton, Brentford and Bournemouth. But we have very good reason to be confident we're the best team in the league at the moment. I agree with that. And I just think...
Well, we've only played one of the bottom 10 at home as well. So don't forget that.
Yeah, no, I know. And look, we've played everybody. And you have got difficult away games. But, all the games are hard. There's not very few really easy games in the Premier League. And it all depends when you come up against them, what form you're in, what form they're in, suspensions. And everyone has... I keep saying, I said it weeks ago, you have to deal with suspensions.
Everyone's still looking at the league through a prism that you're getting chased by fucking that juggernaut over the road. You're not. Yeah. You're not. I'd say nearly all the teams outside of us look vulnerable. If you
that's my thing.
If you looked at the first 20 minutes of that Arsenal game yesterday, like, they're banging a game. Yeah. And I actually think Arsenal are playing a little bit without pressure at the moment because people don't really, like, people say, if they get it together, they might get back into the title race, but they're playing a little bit without pressure. So, like, I understand. Like, I didn't know that. That's at the blowing my mind there, Emmet, shout that we've only played one team in the top 10, bottom 10 at home. Like, that won't come into narratives because that narrative would lean you towards saying, oh, right, so fucking Liverpool need a monumental collapse here to not win the league. Like, we can only beat what's in front of us. Like,
well, what's in front of us, Shawnee, is Antio says our next 6 league games are Leicester at home, West Ham away, Man United at home, Forest away, Brentford away, Ipswich at home. Now, Brentford have been brilliant at home to get beaten by Forest yesterday. Manchester United got beaten at home 3-0 by Bournemouth today. West Ham had a draw over the weekend, I think, at home. Leicester have lost badly in the last 2 games. Ipswich were appalling against Newcastle yesterday. I actually watched it. And this brings me to my last question before we go, and I'll start with you, Emma. We talk about points in the season, at least I certainly do when I think January the 1st, round Paddy's Day, and then obviously the last day of the season. But there's 2 real parts for me where I go, where are we on that day? Where are we on that day? And if you look at those next 3 league games, Leicester at home, West Ham away, Manchester United at home, I'd make the argument that Liverpool win those 3, right? Even without the game, forget the game in hand for a minute. They're realistically 7 points clear if you take that game in hand and you take it as a win. And I would take it as a win because I don't think Everton are any good, right? I think Liverpool would beat Everton, right? I think there's an argument that Liverpool could be 9 or 10 points clear after that Manchester United game, which I think will be bang on halfway, actually. I think it'll be 9 or 10 points clear. This league is there to be won, Emma. Like, there's no getting away from it. This league is there to be won, and I think after those 3 games, I think United is January the 5th. Liverpool will be halfway through this season and will possibly be, I think, 9 or 10 points clear. It just, you talk about scoreboard pressure. I think anyone else looking at that's going, these pricks are 10 points clear. And, you know, and it's not like anyone else is flying. It's there to be won, Emmet. There's no getting away from it, is there?
No, I don't want to say it's Liverpool's to lose
My
at
dog
this
thinks
stage.
the league is to be there to be won as well.
Yeah, well, there you go, Jasper. Good man.
Come on.
Well,
Joe Dog speaks Spanish
I think-
as well, Gav.
Yeah, Spanish dog.
I think looking at Man City yesterday, and I think a few of us actually said it, they're kind of nearly playing with they're resigned to not winning the league. And it doesn't matter. I don't look at anybody else but Man City. I'm assuming everybody else is the same. And they're playing with
it. Not being in the league, never mind winning
yeah,
the league.
well, they're resigned to their fate, basically. And after City, then it's Arsenal. And look, Saka looks like he could be gone for 6 to 8 weeks now.
Yeah, but he comes off the pitch every week and then he's grand.
No, but
that's
look at the video of him on the crutches. That's a bad one. That is a bad one. The resurgence of Jesus, I don't think that's going to replace Saka's numbers. But it is there. I think the next 3, you're right, get there, and then it's I don't want to say it's not a procession, but it's downhill. You'd like to think it's downhill from there. United were the team that we beat back in 2019, 2020 when the Kop started singing, we're going to win the league. And I think the 5th of January, if we can get full points from the next 3, you may as well start singing that song as well. Because I think the one that's most likely to catch us, I think Chelsea will drop way more points. Keith is right when you're like, and Shawnee has said it as well. You're not winning the league with that goalkeeper. I'm sorry, but they're going to drop way more points. As far back as City are now, I still would think that they're our biggest stress still, even with everybody else closer to us. And I think they're resigned to not winning the league. They're under pressure now to even stay in the Champions League. Their next game is PSG, and PSG need the points as well. This could be an absolute terror of a season for Man City. I think our next 3, win our next 3. I won't be singing it, but I think you might start hearing a few whispers from the crowd of we're going to win the league. I agree with you as well. I think we're about 10 clear come the 5th of January.
Yeah, I think like when we look at it now, I think we're 4 clear to Chelsea with a game in hand, right? And you have to, even if you forget the game in hand, I think that 4 gets higher if we win our next 3, right? I think we're 6 clear of Arsenal. I think that gets higher if we win the next 3. That's me personally. That's what I think, right? And then you look at it, and even if you go 7 clear of Chelsea and 8 clear of Arsenal, you know, and that time with a game in hand, like Shawnee, you know, it's a big thing in football, take each game as it comes. But we might be able to do that. But I think the rest in the pack there that are looking to challenge, and I think it's only 2. I think it's Chelsea or Arsenal for me. And you can pick whichever way you want to go with it. I think Chelsea can go on a thing where they're not under pressure and see where it takes us. I still think Arsenal are under the biggest pressure to win this title with everything that's gone on. But we can take it one game at a time. They're probably looking going, we're halfway through. We're going to run our games really fucking fast here, and we have to be perfect. And if 90 points is your target, right? If 90 points is your target, in 3 games' time, Liverpool will be 48 points. Yeah, 48 points, I think, from 19 games. And Arsenal will probably be 39 if they won all theirs, I think, somewhere, or 41 maybe. Arsenal would need 49 points out of the last 19 games. Which is dropping 9 points, I think, if my maths are right.
And coming to Anfield.
Yeah, and coming to Anfield, yeah. And
I think the
You
point
just,
you made there
my whole point here is that you can take a one game at a time, but if you get to January the 5th, if you play Manchester United and you've beaten Leicester, you've beaten West Ham, and you've beaten Manchester United, everyone else around you can't look at it game by game. They're starting to look ahead, 5 games ahead, hoping you'll drop somewhere, and that means that they're under massive pressure not to drop points themselves. That's without them dropping any points. They're looking for you. They're looking for you to come back to them rather than them to get to you. If you know what I'm saying, Sean.
Yeah. I think we get to the back. Like you made a good point, and I agree with you again on in terms of, like, I've always found myself on the Paddy's Day fixture kind of going, right, whereabouts are we now? And
I
a
always
couple of
do.
years. Yeah, no, because like there's one I remember off the top of my head. I think
Fulham
we played
away.
Fulham away.
Yeah.
And Milner scores a
Milner,
penalty. Yeah, thinking, oh, that's fucking huge. The year we win the league, it's over by then anyway. Like, we know it's figuratively over the day we beat Leicester pretty much. But when the league, when the, like you said, the other teams start running out of road, is when the kind of Christmas program ends and you're not playing a league game every 3 or 4 days. Then when it goes back to one game a week and Liverpool have a 10, 11 point lead, you're kind of going, fuck's sake, we're running our road here. And I think in all likelihood, like, if we're in, and I agree with you, I think we will be a couple of points. I think there will be another few positive point swings in our favour between now and the end of January. I just think it becomes really difficult to catch a Liverpool team, particularly if you're Arsenal, because that's when big boy football and the Champions League comes around and you're playing home and away to decent sides, especially in the round of 16, and then obviously the further you go on, the more difficult it gets. But Chelsea have the Conference League. I get that. I looking at Chelsea today, I think they're a nothing burger, to be honest with you. I just, like, outside, now I'm being honest, outside of fucking Cole Palmer, I just see a lot. Caicedo's very good. I just see a lot of fellas who would probably be good as individuals in different teams, but together doesn't really, like, the lads they brought off the bench against Everton. I'm like going, yeah, these are great lads. If you're fucking West Ham again, I don't see. There's not many match winners outside of a Cole Palmer, and they're a very young squad as well. And then don't get me started on that back five, like, fucking, yeah, man, Disasi playing football like he's allergic to it, and then Sanchez, fuck me, he's shy. He's shy. Just calling a spade a shovel. He's fucking shy. So I think the only one who probably in years got, but I'm similar to looking at City as being the juggernaut they are. I think the only one who probably you think might be able to put together a run and catches is Arsenal, but I don't even think they look like the same team. And as Emmet said as well, Saka, 6 to 8 weeks, Saka being out for them is fucking, it's rough. I think 3 to 4 weeks of Saka being out is rough, because a lot of their game is, can we score from this corner? Yeah. And if the answer is no, how quick can you get the ball to Saka and Odegaard on the right side and see what happens there? So yeah, and again, I think another part that will sort of help in the title races, I think I can see Liverpool doing business in January as well. To be honest with you, I got left back, I centre mid. So yeah, it's really positive. I think the last shy performance we really had was the first half against Newcastle. The Fulham performance is relatively positive for me, to be fair. And then the first fucking 50 minutes today looked like you are watching a Champions Elect. So yeah, look, there's no such thing as bad juju or superstition or just speak with a little bit of chest when you say these things. We're 100% the team to be, and we're not being chased down by a fucking 2.7, 2.8 points per game sort of Man City that you're used to. I think when you crunch all the numbers, Liverpool, I'd say by far and away, have the easiest route to being Premier League champions, because
someone did mention there.
Not forgetting fucking all the experience our squad has. You know what I mean?
People
And
forget
and
that,
I tell
don't
you
they?
one thing, that Carabao Cup last year will be fucking huge to a couple of the lads who come in and hadn't won the
Yeah.
Premier League with Liverpool, because we've got over the line last year in the competition as well. So, look, I think it's great. We were speaking earlier. I was out yesterday with a couple of United fans that conveniently they don't like talking about football anymore. But one of the arguments they put forward to me was, Liverpool looked great last year and the legs fell off them. And I was like, yeah, because we are playing 100 mile an hour football up to our tits on the adrenaline that we were losing fucking Jurgen Klopp, the great one,
Yeah.
at the end of the season. And we all wanted to give him the best send-off ever. Whereas now it's fucking cigars and slippers after 60 at bleeding Tottenham Hotspur, fucking Lane Stadium, fucking Bridge Ground, Beyonce Knowles Bowl, whatever you want to call the fucking thing. Cigars and slippers with lads still to come back. It's fucking great. Oh no, I can't wait for me Christmas. This is fucking great.
I can see he's buzzing now. But come here, I'm just like, I think, Keith, when you look at all this, right, and we're happy and we're giddy and we think we can win it, and why not? The evidence so far would tell you that Liverpool have been the best side in the league, because the league doesn't lie. They've dealt with injuries, they've dealt with the odd suspension. You know, they've won 12 from 16, they've drawn 3, they've lost 1. You know, they've the best goal difference, I think, in the league. Yeah, they do. They've conceded the least in the league, along, I think, with Arsenal. But when you look at it, like, Keith, other fans of other teams be looking, going, oh well, like, you know, maybe they'll drop here and maybe we'll do that. But you have to take into account that Liverpool love momentum. They love momentum. There's no one like them, in my opinion, for momentum, where they just go, we're winning, let's win another one, let's win. And you look at Salah, and Salah is just like fucking gritting his teeth, going, we are going, and we're going to do this, you know what I mean? Chelsea are averaging 2.1 points per game. Yeah, something like that. Liverpool are averaging well above 2 points. Arsenal are averaging less than 2 points a game, right? Okay, they're averaging, we're 17 games in, they're averaging less than 2 points a game. You don't win a league on that. No matter how good or bad you think it is. If they do 2 points a game, it's 76 points. Right? So, do people have to take into consideration here, Keith, that it's not a Liverpool side up there going, oh, who's behind us? Will we be all right this week? It's a Liverpool side that just look like they want to get stronger, more aggressive, you know, controlling games more, like Shawnee says, putting games to bed after 60, 65 and bringing lads on and going, here, you have a rest because we're playing in 3 days. We have to take that into consideration as well, Keith. This is a Liverpool side that seem to be playing with a freedom, but look like they can get better. And these clubs have to come up markedly to get to the level Liverpool are at. And that's the truth. Like, Liverpool currently sit on 16 games with 39 points. You know, divide that down, it's well over 2 points a game. You know, what we consider our nearest challengers in Arsenal are currently on, I would say, you know, it's 1.9 points a game. That's where we have to look at this. You know, biases
Like
aside,
countdown, this, isn't it?
but biases aside,
Losing
Keith, biases aside, if this was the other way around,
Yeah.
we'd be going, oh, look, fucking, especially when it was City, yeah, they just keep fucking winning because they're in that groove and they keep winning. Like, well, people seem to be forgetting this, that's what the teams at the top do. They just look to keep winning and winning and winning. It's not like they're waiting to be caught. They're looking to go further and further ahead, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, we have to put up with the shite that we've had to put up with, you know, that we haven't played anyone, and everyone we've played at a good time. You could say that about every fucking team that wins a league or wins a title, you know what I mean? Like, you play them at a good time. Like, I say this all the time, we play Ipswich away at 12:30 in the first game of the season. There's no fucking harder time to play Ipswich or to promote a team than 12:30 in their ground on the first day of the season. Do you know what I mean? Like, so there's all loads of context that Liverpool are having to fight with. But we're in a position now where they need us to drop points, right? But none of them, we're not talking about a Manchester City juggernaut. We're not talking about that team where we all remember it. A draw was like a fucking defeat. Do you know what I mean? You just couldn't drop points. We're getting chased down by Chelsea, by Arsenal. And that allows us, complacency, I don't want anything like that, but it just means if we do drop points with a draw, because we're not going to win every game. Momentum is great. We're not going to win every game, but it just means a draw isn't the end of the world now. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't have faith that they can do what Liverpool and Man City done in the last few years, put on them runs and get to that 90 point. They can't get to the 90 points, but I don't have faith that they have it in them. And anyway, you don't have the minerals for it. So Liverpool are in a position now where I wouldn't say it's comfortable, but it's a case of, look, we're going to just go here. We're going to win more than we lose. If we drop points with the odd draw, it's not the end of the world because these are not going to win every game. You know what I mean? Arsenal without Saka are a different beast. They lost Odegaard for a few months and they were having a shy hemorrhage all over the place, one player, and they were going on like the world is falling down and there was a conspiracy against them. So we can expect more of that from them if they drop any points. Chelsea, again, we said it, the defence, we don't trust their defence. Shawnee hit the nail on the head. Cole Palmer. You know, that's all they are. That's all they bring to the table is Cole Palmer. Right, Caicedo, Fernandes, decent midfielders, but, you know, Lavia, good midfielder. But if you take Cole Palmer out for any reason at them, and I don't mean if they lose him to injury, but I mean if you take his numbers and his impact on the game out, they're an average team. You know, Man City and Pep's Man City, Klopp's Liverpool, when they were going head to head, were two machines, right? Two fucking machines that put pressure on each other. That, you know, Guardiola always says it, you know, he's only as good because Klopp was there pressuring them and putting it up to them. We don't have that now. Like, we're in a position, we didn't think we'd be in this position. New manager coming in that nobody ever heard of. Nobody thought we would be here. None of us thought Arne Slot was going to have us in here challenging top at Christmas. But we are, because Liverpool had a plan to bring in a manager that fit the mould of the previous manager, as in, right, he doesn't play the exact same way, but he plays similar. So he was able to take a squad that Jurgen Klopp had there without drastic changes, and he was able to just get them on that track, made good changes to the way we play that made us stronger. If you look at Manchester United, or the exact same thing as Sean, if United fans telling me that they don't watch football anymore, like it's all corrupt now. You know, like, leave it out, lads, will you? It's all cyclical. Do you know what I mean? Liverpool weren't winning out, and we've had to go through this shit. We've had to go through this dance. They brought in a manager, Ruben Amorim, who plays three at the back, different system to the players that they have. So not only are they getting rid of managers and coaches, they've now got a squad of shite there that they can't put in a system that the manager plays. So it's another overhaul. We've gone for consistency, even though it's a different man and it's not the charisma of Jurgen Klopp. Everything is just a smooth transition. The team are there. As Shawnee said, the League Cup last year win does give a lot of the players that weren't part of the big wins something to say, well, we've got a medal, we've got a trophy. I think it's going to be huge. I don't think any of them teams can catch us. I think we'd have to fall off a cliff. And look, it's happened before. Stranger things can happen in football. I just don't see it with this Liverpool team. And I don't see the challengers being good enough to pile on. Even if we got dragged back into it, I don't think any of them would run away from us. So worst case scenario is you're in a dogfight with them. And I'd still fancy us to get to the end of it. Do you know, to win a league, you don't have to have it wrapped up by bleeding February. We got spoiled the last time, but I'd still fancy us in a dogfight with these other teams because we look like the best team and we look like the most balanced and strongest squad.
Yeah, I think a huge thing over the next 4 or 5 weeks is fitness, keeping people fit. I mean, able to go into these games in Champions League in January and stuff and go, right, who are we picking? Who needs a rest, you know, stuff. And there, of course, there's, I think Chris said it earlier, there's 4 or 5 players approaching a ban for us as well. Before, I think after the United game, they all get wiped. But before that, there's 4 or 5 players that are on 4 yellow cards and could face a ban and miss United or miss West Ham or whatever it might be. So we have to be a little bit careful there as well. Jesus, an hour and 15 minutes in. I've really enjoyed that. We spoke about loads. This is our last show, possibly before Christmas. I think it might be. But I'm going to wish us all a very happy Christmas and a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I hope everyone has a really good one. I hope you'll get to see your family and you're happy and whatever else. And we will be back on Stephen's Day / Boxing Day, whatever you call it, for reaction to Liverpool against Leicester. Emma, anything else before we go?
No, just to echo something that Keith there and Shawnee touched on as well, is that in previous years when we were in positions like this, so we were in a position like this where we were absolutely milked at the back and we fell off a cliff. We fell off a bit of a cliff last year as well because we were run into the ground. But in each one of those years, there was another team in the league that could possibly go on like a 15-game unbeaten run. I don't see that this year. I don't see Arsenal going 15 games unbeaten. I don't see City going 15 games unbeaten. I see us going 15 games unbeaten. We might drop points, draws, stuff like that. But I don't want to say it's easy or it feels easy. It's not at all. It's never easy to win the Premier League. But it just seems like this is a bigger chance than we've ever had, even in 1920. And I know we went 23, 24, 25 points ahead come February. But I just think there was still, you were looking over your shoulder back then. I just think now it just seems like it's there for us to go on and win the games. And I don't think, Keith's right, I'm not sure I see any of them catching us. I don't think they have the minerals to go on that 15-game run to try and catch up with us. So that's all I'll say. And I will also echo what you say there. Happy Christmas to everybody. It's been a good year. Everybody in the chat, in the Telegram, I'm sure we're going to speak to them before Christmas, during Christmas, possibly even on Christmas Day. But that's what really kind of makes the channel, what makes these shows. So happy Christmas to everybody. Like Gav said, hope you spend a lot of time with your family, friends, all that kind of stuff, and have a good New Year as well. So I'm see you in the New Year.
And if you're down near Fairhouse Community Centre and you're looking for a normal ball next season, drop in and then I'll sign you up. Keith, anything else before we go?
No.
Are you looking forward to your Christmas, Keith? To the Christmas?
Yeah. I was out last night.
Night. Go on, tell us.
I'm in bits today. Yeah, we went out a load of points. Dying today. Now in Ringsend, went over one of these impromptu jobs, karaoke and all on. Played great.
What songs did you go for?
I just sang Elvis, but it was just one of them. I didn't want to sing. I'm a bit shy like that, but it was.
This coming from the man, right, that stands up in the beer garden in Dublin Airport and won't sit down just in case a good song comes on and he can have a dance and sing to it.
At 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, 4 in the morning. You cannot sit down. No, there could be a banger about to come on here. I have to be ready.
With the jazz flute whipping it out.
I've never seen someone wait for a good song to come on all my life and be so ready as Keith.
You have to be ready.
You have to be ready.
Born ready. Now, look, great show as usual. Well done to you as well. Wishing everyone a happy Christmas. Happy Christmas to you three as well. Happy Christmas to everyone in the chat. We'll be all back soon enough. We'll all be talking shite in the new year. So looking forward to it. Big year.
Yeah.
It's a big year. I can smell it.
Paul reckons Keith looks like a bit of a careless whisper kind of guy.
Oh yeah,
he'd have a go at anything.
Who isn't?
Exactly.
Keith Plugger would have a go at anything, singing anything.
We were about 3 hours late for Shawnee's 30th birthday because Keith was banging the songs out with Ryan's.
Shawnee was texting us going, "Where are you?" No, we're on the way.
I was actually 41 by the time the boys got there.
Keith would have a go at singing the Angelus. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Shawnee, anything else before we go?
No, the same. Happy holiday, Christmas, whatever you celebrate. If you're not into it, fucking great. The 25th, you get to sit around doing nothing, watching loads of daily films on the telly. Fill your boots. 2025 going to be a big year. It's just great altogether. It's a great bunch of lads. Great bunch in the chat.
They're a great bunch.
Most of us anyway. No, look, it's deadly, isn't it? Christmas. I love Christmas.
So do I.
I've stressed this. Why you not hurry off for? Christmas. Like today's Keith, like fucking.
I don't mind. I'll stay on. What's your favourite?
Chianti there looking at me there. I'm gonna upend it now in a minute.
What's your favourite thing about Christmas, Shawnee?
This is gonna sound a bit zesty, should I say? But you know, just the buzz around. just a buzz around. Like I was in London last weekend,
Yeah.
and it was lovely to look at. Don't get me wrong, all the lights and all, but like just I had a good float around town today, outside Brown Thomas and Graham Street, and the doorman doing a sing song with a couple of a fella dressed as Santa and all, and you're looking at the kids' faces and all. It's fucking great, and people are just most people. I understand Christmas can be a difficult time for some people, and it's not always like fucking sunshine and rainbows. But just the general gist is that everybody's in great form. Like you bump into someone in the pub, and they're like, sorry, like there's just a good buzz. It's a general good buzz. Like I'll tell you, a fucking mad story here happened today, and it was just one of them random things that when I walked out of Jack's, I was like, did that happen, right? I'm in the bank bar.
They're setting a time.
Hello,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
hello.
did someone
I
put you in the toilet, Sean?
I was in the bank bar today. If anyone doesn't know, it's on Dame Street. It's actually a lovely pub this time of year.
The bank, is it?
Yeah.
Is that not the bankers now?
No, the bank. So
Yeah.
the bankers is actually where the people that worked in the bank used to go to drink. And the
Yeah.
reason why that bar is called the bank is because it used to be a bank.
A bank,
It's
yeah,
an
yeah.
old listed building. When you go in, it's lovely. It's that's always decorated lovely. Grub is
Yeah.
lovely in it. Staff are lovely in it. Went in today, impromptu, not as it can be the week before Christmas. Have a couple of pints and bit of dinner, right? So I go down, I go to the urinal, and you know yourself, a few lads had been probably out since Thursday on that Christmas war party or whatever, right? And this outfit, about 60, right, walks up to the urinal, the urinal directly beside me, right? Standing there, and I'm just here, listen, I know there's a girl's bike outside, but I was having a piss, right? Having a piss in the urinal. This fella walks up beside me, and I'm not joking you, boys. The fart this fella lets rip, right?
Oh.
And it goes on for about 15 seconds. And he just turns around and looks at me, and he just goes, "More tea, vicar." Right?
What a line, by the way.
And I just burst out laughing, right? And everyone else in the Jacks is looking around laughing, right? And I goes, "Here, mate, do us a favour, will you? Take them off and we'll all shite in them, right?" And out of nowhere, I could just hear some bloke in the stall behind me breaking his bollocks laughing. And I walked out, right, after washing me hands. And your man's at the bottom of the stairs like Roddy Collins, and he goes, "Christmas fucking great," and just walks up.
That's the joy.
And I was-
That's like Princess Carol in Dublin, isn't it?
And I was thinking to myself, that's a fella who was at the sink at about 18 points of Guinness per day, right?
Yeah.
Per day
Since
for the last
Thursday.
Yeah, since Thursday. And he's just on a lovely one. Hasn't a scratch to do until the 6th of January. And it's just, and that's what I love about Christmas. It's just a buzz. Everyone's on a fuck. And the music. I love the music.
The
And the
music's
songs.
great.
But come
It's
here.
the bollocks. It's
I
the
was
bollocks.
I made a huge mistake today. I went down to the shops to get the last bits for Christmas, the food shopping. And it doesn't really bother me. I just go in and wander around. But you know the way the usual, the queues are down the aisles and fucking... You can't get the stuff on the shelves because people are blocking them with the trolleys and everything. And I was in the shop today, and I went down the back of the shop and I was going to get butter. So I goes down and the way in the shops, they're all the staff are always walking around with these trolleys with all the stock on them, and they're wheeling them around, they're putting them on the shelf. But there was this trolley there, and there was a fella standing beside this trolley, didn't really pay much attention to him. I didn't realise he was on the phone, right? So I walked by him, and I literally standing right behind him, and I didn't realise he was on the phone. I just thought he was standing there waiting for his mot to fucking get a few bits or whatever. And I leaned down to pick up the butter, and as I leaned down, I just heard him going, "That's because he's a fucking wanker," right? And I went, "What the fuck?" I fucking jumped, boys, right? I knocked about fucking 12 things of butter all over the bleeding floor, right? And I says, "For fuck's sake." So I picked them on and I looked at him, man. I went, are you fucking for real? And he didn't even flinch. He just stayed in the conversation on his phone, right? Now, the fella was about 60. So I laughed and he thought it was funny, went off. About 25 minutes later, I'm coming around the corner and he's still on the phone. But it's like someone on a phone that doesn't remember they're in the shops. It's like he thinks he's at home on his own, and he's roaring all over the shop and giving out yards about some fella. But his first words out was, well, that's because he's a fucking wanker. I thought, fuck this. There was butter everywhere. Anyway, don't go to shops tomorrow or the next day. It's fucking horrendous.
Absolute
I'm
carnage.
gonna ask you what your favourite Christmas song is. Not the best, because the best is unanimous. I don't think it can be argued, to be quite honest. So,
What do you think
what's
the
your
best
favourite?
is?
No, well, I'm gonna ask you a favourite first, and then I think we should all have what we think is the best, and I'll say it at the same time at
Right.
the end.
My
what's your-
favourite is Step Into Christmas by Elton John.
To belter.
Yeah.
To belter.
Emma?
I like Shakin' Stevens.
I
Merry
love
Christmas,
Shaky as well,
everyone.
Right. Okay, that's your favourite. Keith?
Yeah, I was going to say Shaky as well. But I
Like
love them
Campbell-
all. Could name any of them. But the best is the best.
No, hold on. He's not letting you say the best yet. What's your
Yeah, I
favourite?
know
Sean?
that. Yeah,
But is the best your favourite?
the best is my favourite. Yeah.
No, my
Okay.
best. The best isn't my favourite.
Well, no,
The
it
best
might not
isn't
be the
my
one we're all
favourite
thinking
either.
of.
You're gonna. What are you
best
going
is-
for, Shawnee?
As my favourite?
Yeah.
My favourite is Last Christmas.
By
Yeah,
Wham.
that's the best.
Yeah. Ah, it's fucking
That's the best.
just quality.
The
It's just
best-
like, when we be all dead and got like they be listening to that in 400 years time
Yeah.
if the planet's not on fire. But they be listening to it on fucking. They genuinely will. There's like. It's fucking brilliant. But the best. The
It's
best
Fairy
is
Tale in New
like-
York.
It's Fairy
Yeah.
Tale in New York.
Yeah,
No,
it
I
is.
think
It,
Wham- I
even
think
if-
Last Christmas the best.
Fairy Tale in
Oh,
New York just reminds me of being in the pub,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
Christmas Eve,
yeah.
and everybody's just swinging out of each other.
You see,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like Last Christmas by Wham.
You
I'm
don't.
not a fan of
You're
it.
one.
Oh,
You're a
weirdo,
fuck.
No, I'm just not. I never
See,
was. I just not.
Bob Cratchit and Tiny Tim, they screwed.
Fucking go
Last
get
Christmas,
wanker.
you know?
Well, who?
That-
What
that's
song?
fucking
What
Jacob
song?
Marley's
Keith,
mate.
what Christmas song was?
barking
What,
at the Ghost of Christmas past out the back garden trying to get into the
what? What's the song by the Ronettes? The Christmas song by the Ronettes, Keith.
Jeez, I don't know. There's loads of that.
I think the Ronettes have one. I think it's the Ronettes, and I like that. I know I like that.
There's loads of them.
I love
old,
them all.
Darlene Love and all that.
Yeah,
I love them all. I love them all. I love John Lennon's one. War is over. It's a shit.
Yeah.
Like him, but I love
Madge
the little
Apple
one
has
they
a
did.
good shout there. I like 2,000 Miles. Is that the Pretenders?
The Pretenders, yeah, Chrissy
Yeah.
Hine. And I love the Power of Love's a great song.
Doesn't everybody?
Do they know
Everybody
it's
hates.
Christmas?
Everybody hates. Was it? What's his name? Mistletoe and Wine. What was your man that sang that?
Cliff, can't
Cliff,
Cliff
stand him.
Richard.
Cliff Richard.
He's a
Mistletoe
blade,
and
He's
Wine.
a lizard.
Yeah, yeah, we don't. He doesn't
Yeah,
count.
he's not normal, that fella.
Oh.
Can't stand him.
The Darkness is a great one as well.
Yeah.
They have a
It
great
is,
one.
yeah. Yeah, Leona
Don't
Lewis.
don't
Get
let the
on
bells
Leona
ring, wasn't it?
Lewis.
It's like that thing. It's like the Fairy Tale in New York obviously has the one where Blade and poor Kirsty McCall being killed
what
by a
happened?
jet ski. But
What happened?
we have a new version now of the E17, and people just telling you that Brian Harvey ran himself over with his own car.
Yeah.
So they were like,
Yeah.
that's Brian
What's
Harvey out of
going on?
E17. He ran himself over with his own car. Do you not know that?
You never hear that story?
How do you
He
run
ran
yourself over with your
with
own
his
car?
I think he was
Fell out
pushing it
with
and he
his
slipped
own
and
car,
fell,
and the
didn't
car
he?
went over him.
Yeah.
So that's
So
why
what? When
it is Brian
E17 comes
Harvey.
on now, you go. You know what happened to him? Ran himself over his own car.
Never heard of
Oh,
that.
there's a hell of a lot more has happened to Brian Harvey. If you
Yeah, but it is.
Yeah,
But it is
yeah.
gas. Like
Listen to these stories.
we always talk about it. Jonah Louis stopped the cavalry, says Toad Street. Yeah,
Right,
like
son.
that, really like that. But
yeah.
it is a
Just
thing. Like
driving home Christmas about that.
the first time you hear when the Christmas song comes in, the first time you hear Fairy Tale New York, there's always someone that goes, Kirsty McCall killed by a jet ski, and it's always
in front of my kids.
It's always happens. It's not funny, but every
That's
year,
horrific, yeah.
every year, it's like you're just waiting for someone, and then now it's kind of gone online now. You know, you're waiting for someone on Twitter to go. But I do remember the tweet last year, the year before, from a lad I followed, and it was the 1st of December or something, and he went, "Not long now, lads, the Kirsty McCall story be out," and it was just brilliant. The timing of it was amazing, but Yeah, there's some.
Rest in peace,
There's some.
Kirsty.
Most of the songs are great. What about the Christmas film, lads? Before we finish, what one is your go-to?
Die Hard.
Again, I think it's unanimous for me. It's A Wonderful Life. It's
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
do me a favour.
It's a blade
Tell you
film
what to
about
do.
suicide. If Die Hard
Oliver,
isn't getting
Oliver was
included,
always
that's
the
not-
Christmas film for me. Oliver.
Oliver.
Here, it's not.
It's Home Alone, in my opinion, but
Home Alone's great.
yeah,
Oliver had
The
Wizard of
National
Oz.
Lampoons is always a bit
Yeah.
of crap.
National Lampoons is a
Yeah,
belter.
Clark Griswold.
And I don't.
Brilliant.
And do you know what I love? Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And I don't even know if it's based on
That's a
Christmas. I think it might be.
Thanksgiving one. That's Thanksgiving.
Is there a tree?
No, it's Thanksgiving.
Is there
Is
snow?
Uncle Buck a Christmas one?
No.
Uncle Buck was
No.
deadly.
Uncle Buck
I
was
like.
class.
What was the one with the Vito in it? Deck the Halls, was it? Yeah, where he tries to
Yeah.
light up his own gaff.
That's
What's the other one?
Danny
Christmas
DeVito
with the
and
Cranks.
Matthew Broderick.
That's decent as well.
Now, do you know what's good? The Arnold Schwarzenegger one, Jingle All the Way. I love
Jingle
that.
all the way.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
great elf.
Is that the one where he's a
Yeah.
terrible father and
Come
doesn't
here.
buy his
Looking for
child
the-
something for Christmas?
Yeah.
Power Express is
Turbo
great.
Man.
The Polar
Polar
Express
Express
is
is
mad
great.
to look at, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah,
graphics on it are like a Commodore 64. It's mad to look at. Like
Yeah,
that was on here the other day, and I was like, "What is going on there?" But yeah,
It
loads of
can't be
people love it.
Elf.
Elf
Elf
is
is
phenomenal.
brilliant.
Bad
Elf is
Santa
brilliant.
is good. The Christmas Chronicles were decent.
I was going to say the Christmas Chronicles are deadly. The second one, my kids are always watching it. Very good.
Santa Claus the movie. I remember that came out with Dudley Moore.
Yeah.
That was around about 85. Was it 85,
Yeah.
86 that came
Yeah.
out? That was at the time it was amazing.
Yeah,
I-
that was
what-
real, Sandy.
And what about lads? What about like people I mentioned there, Gavin and Stacey Christmas special, Christmas night and all? Is that something that used to come out at Christmas where you go, oh, I missed that? Because mine is always Only Fools and Horses. I fucking love this Christmas special of Only Fools and Horses. Is there any
Father
show that
Ted's
you look for? Father
Ted
Ted.
Christmas special.
Father Ted Christmas specials were off the wall.
EastEnders, if you like a bleeding
Someone's always doing it.
broadcast from fucking Sarajevo when the Yugoslavia war was on. Fucking someone dying all the time in it.
Keep giving out there about fucking It's a Wonderful Life. Like imagine living in the East End, London, on the set of fucking EastEnders around Christmas time. Oh,
Yeah.
what happened to Mo Mitchell? Oh, the fucking Nissan Micah's had to go through the front window of a house and killing her there when she was making it. Like the maddest show you ever happened
Yeah.
in the pip. Like it's never a happy Christmas. Someone always died. And then I was chatting, I had this conversation at my Christmas party last week. That's how shite that was, by the way.
Oh, the
That
Royal
we ended
Family is
on
a shout, by
story.
the way. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, Royal Family, yeah.
Someone said to me that last year's this year's episode, Christmas episode of EastEnders set up the one that's coming this year, where a flash forward to a murder that's going to happen on Christmas Day, and I'm going, "Are you fucking winding me up?" Like you
Hold on, last Christmas was one.
Yeah, so basically, last year's episode of EastEnders ended with a flash forward
To this Christmas one.
to this Christmas.
Ah,
And they're all
Jesus.
standing outside the pub and someone's at the being murdered. And fucking who done it? Maggie Simpson. Like, load of bollocks. Like,
The
and you
worst
could probably
one.
read in a magazine 6 weeks ago what's going to happen, because they do that, don't they? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
do
They
me
used to
a
do a couple
favour.
of live ones. They
Desperate.
used to do a couple of live things, and a few of them soaps tried this live stuff as well. But the only
always make
look,
bollocks of it.
Jules Holland at Christmas is always good.
well, one of the saddest ones at Christmas was when Tiffany and EastEnders died. Marty McCutcheon, like that was just.
She got a
so
bang of a
funny.
car, didn't she?
Yeah, she got a bang of a car outside the Vic.
No, that was Brian Harvey. He left the
That was Brian Harvey's car.
handbrake off, rolled over his head.
He was identified by his jacket as he ran around Albert Street. Fuck's sake. Right, we have to go.
Happy Christmas, one
Happy
and all.
Christmas, everyone. We apologise for the last 20 minutes because we were just talking absolute nonsense about random stuff. But that's how it works. Thanks a million to Gav. That's me. Thanks a million to Keith. That's him. Over there is Emmet. He's done well because he's drunk. And well done to Shawnee, who brought up some fantastic sayings. And Nothing Burger is probably my favourite because it's the only one I can kind of remember, to be fair. That has been the Talkin Kop for this Sunday night. Have a great Christmas. If we don't get a show in between now and Christmas, have a great one. But we will definitely be back on the 26th after Liverpool beat Leicester. Over and out.
It's Christmas time. There's no need